Hello folks, this is Sula once again. Welcome to another video for Teamfight Tactics. For whatever reason the loading screen did not record, so we're just going to have to pick this up on the initial carousel. You might notice that this is one of the new galaxies. This is the super dense galaxy, and what it means is each player gets a free force of nature when they hit level 5. In this particular video, we're going to be looking at one of the team compositions that got much stronger in the most recent patch, patch 10.8, and that is the Star Guardians team composition, or as it's often been called, the Magic Girls or E-Girls team composition. This is probably the closest thing to the Ocean Mage team composition from set 2. It is a setup that is based on spellcasting, and the single most important thing you need to know in order to make this team composition work is you need to get lots of tiers over any other items. Tier, the item that produces mana, is the thing that you most want. On that initial carousel, I was trying to go for the tier that was on there. I did not get it, so since I didn't get that, I fell back on picking up a needlessly large rod, which is one of the other items that tends to be pretty good. As you might imagine, spellcasting based team composition, you're going to want to get items that cause you to deal more magic damage, and more important than the rods is items that cause you to cast faster, which is what the tiers are. In particular, getting a Xerath, which is from double tier, is the most important item that you need for this team composition. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what makes this team composition works. So at the moment, I don't have any Star Guardians yet. I'm looking for them. The way that Star Guardians work is every time one Star Guardian casts a spell, they grant mana to all of the other Star Guardians, and you get kind of a modest version of that benefit when you have 3 Star Guardians, and you get the full benefit when you have 6 Star Guardians. So the way that the comp works is you try to get all 6 Star Guardians, and then you fill in sorcerers around them. Sorcerers just cause all of your champions to deal additional damage as far as spell power goes. Now, the beginning of this game is not really what you want to see when you're intending to play a Star Guardians team composition. I have found 0 Star Guardians, and I have not found any tiers. So this probably is a game where I should not have been looking to play that from the beginning. However, I was hoping to go into that. This composition is strong enough right now that you can force it, and then I finally get the thing that causes me to say, okay, I'm definitively going into Star Guardians. I get an early Syndra in a drop here from the minions. Syndra is the most important unit in a Star Guardians comp, and then I get an Ahri as well. So these are some of the most important champs that you'll want to play. Ahri is a Star Guardian, and Syndra also a Star Guardian. So that's not enough to get the Star Guardians buff in play, or origin, whatever it's called. I think the official word is origin. Not enough to get that because you do need 3 of them, but I am able to pick up 2 of the 3, and I am able to get Sorks in play because both Ahri and Syndra are both Star Guardian plus Sorcerer. So we get the 2 Star Guardian or 2 Sorcerer benefit, which I believe is plus 20. It's plus 15% or plus 20% spell damage. And I was also able to just randomly find a 2-star Jarvan here, so I'm going to use for frontline. And so we're able to win that without too much difficulty. One of the biggest issues with this team composition is it's very weak in terms of front line. That is, you don't have a lot of protection. You basically have a lot of spellcasters, so you're relying on their crowd control and their ability to burst down enemy champions quickly. So the fact that I was able to randomly make this 2-star Jarvan was a pretty good sign. That's going to help out. So now I'm still looking for more Star Guardians. I really want to get a 3rd Star Guardian so that I can get the full effect into play. And I also managed to get a 2-star Twisted Fate, so I'm going to play that for the time being. I actually was pretty lucky in terms of what I was getting from those initial drops. I got 2 different champions that were 3-cost champions. I had the Syndra and I also had the Ezreal, and so that's potentially 6 gold. So I ended up keeping the Syndra, but I was able to sell the Ezreal, and getting gold off those initial minion rounds is super duper helpful. I was also able to make a useful item. I've made Ionic Spark. This item causes enemy spellcast near the champion who has Ionic Spark to deal magic damage to them. It's very good to put on tanky champions. Jarvan's not ideal. It would be better to put it on a Mordekaiser like this enemy team comp has right here. But it's certainly worth playing for the moment. Put it on my frontline unit. And hey, Jarvan even survives with like 10 health left or something crazy like that. And like I said, I just kind of randomly found my way into the 2-star Jarvan and my way into the 2-star Twisted Fate. So Twisted Fate is also a sorcerer. He is not a Star Guardian though. So he is someone that you will typically play early on and then look to drop later if you can. So for right now, I'm going to play him because a 2-star TF is going to be better than a 1-star Ari or a 1-star Syndra. However, I will be looking to drop him eventually. But hey, helpful to have him in the team composition for the moment. And I have been fortunate enough to win the first couple rounds. I would love to keep this win streak going. But of course, it will depend on who I'm going to be up against. This is why I'm looking at some of the other team compositions here, trying to see what other comps are in effect, and trying to see if I need to reposition to dodge Zephyrs or Blitzcrank hooks or anything like that. So like I said, I want to keep this win streak going if at all possible. But if I do lose it, it's not as devastating in this patch as it would have been in the previous ones where win streaks were like stupidly overpowered. By the way, Twisted Fate gets off a really good wild card there. I thought for sure I was going to lose this round, but then he hits like 3 champions with his wild cards. Look how much damage he does there, 1750. So I'm able to keep the win streak intact. Now, the one downside to this is it does mean, of course, I'm going to be picking late off of Carousel. I had some hope of maybe getting a tier here because there were 2 of them, but I am going to be last to pick, so the odds that they're both going to be there are probably pretty low. After tier, my next priority is probably to take the needlessly large rod, but that's gone as well. And if I can't get that, then I will fall back on taking one of the BF swords. And the reason for that is because the BF sword will build into a Guardian Angel, and that's going to be more useful than probably anything else here. I do need at least 1 Guardian Angel because you really want to make a Guardian Angel on one of your frontline units, which will probably be Nico. Not Nico the item, but Nico the champion. Very useful to have her. Because she's kind of the only frontline unit in this team composition. Anyway, we are going to be able to find some more Star Guardians here, though, and I'm going to look to level aggressively here. I level to level 5. Why do I do that? Because this is the super dense galaxy. Note that I go not to 5 units, I go up to 6 units right here, and I actually can make something good with this composition as well. By putting in both Zoe and Poppy, I'm able to get up to 4 Star Guardians, and there's the Force of Nature, by the way. Able to get up to 4 Star Guardians and able to get up to 4 Sorcerers. So this is going to make the team much stronger, and it's also something that's going to cause the other players to do the same thing. You're probably going to notice that other players that I'm up against are also going to do. So like right here, the person I'm up against in this round, King Bo, has done exactly the same thing, has leveled very aggressively up to level 5 so that King Bo can also put in the 6th champion. However, it wasn't enough to win that round, but like if you don't level quickly, like if you don't make the aggressive level up to level 5, typically right where I did that at stage 2-5, right after the second carousel, other players are going to make that leveling, and then you're stuck with 4 units against 6 units, and it's almost impossible to win. So unless you're deliberately lost streaking, it's a good idea in the super dense galaxy to level quickly to 5, or else you're just at a really, really big disadvantage. This was played like the day after the patch came out, and I don't think a lot of people were kind of super familiar with this galaxy yet. And so I think that this is one of those things where people get better at using with more practice. So here I was scouting comps, I was looking at who I hadn't come up against, and I shifted Zoe over to the left-hand side. Why did I do that? Because Zoe is my least important unit, and she's the one I do not care if she gets hooked. So scouting for the win there, we have the least valuable unit ends up getting hooked. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what these individual Star Guardians do. I already mentioned that Star Guardians, each time a Star Guardian casts a spell, they grant mana to all of the other Star Guardians. Oh, and by the way, here, I'm able to pick up a Vel'Koz. Early Vel'Koz here, only 5% odds. He is a 4-cost unit, but I get him right here, so that's quite lucky as well. I will play him over the Zoe because I still have the 3 Star Guardian benefit. There we go. So Ally Sorcerer, 20% spell power for 2, 45% for 4, 80% for 6, and then I think 120% for 8, but let's be honest, you're not going to get to 8 Sorks. And you really shouldn't play 8 Sorks because if these, like, you don't want to be wasting a slot on Twisted Fate at the end of the game because he's not very good. You do much better to play 6 Sorks and run better champions, run stronger champs. 8 Sorks is kind of a meme-based build, not something you would seriously look to do. But yeah, so 4 Sorks, 3 Star Guardians. Okay, what I was trying to do was talk about what the individual Star Guardians do, and in particular the ones that really matter for the team composition. So here's the ones, first of all, that don't particularly matter. Poppy is a frontline tank. She tosses a shield for her ability. She is Star Guardian Vanguard. She is the least valuable Star Guardian. If you end up getting the item that turns a unit into a Star Guardian, she is the one that you replace because she is the one that is least important to the team composition. The other one that's least important is Zoe. She's Star Guardian plus Sork, so she's probably going to stay in the team comp, but she doesn't really offer that much. She tosses out a Sleepy Trouble Bubble that will put at one enemy champion that gets hit to sleep. Again, not bad, a decent form of crowd control for the early game, but she's not a particularly valuable unit. You will almost certainly keep her in the comp just for the traits, but don't waste your time putting items on her. She is not a valuable champion. She is not the one that you want to focus on in this team composition. So the ones that do matter. Ahri is one of the more important champs in this particular comp. Ahri tosses out her orb. It will deal magic damage on the way out. It'll do true damage on the way back. And obviously it's somewhat random where she tosses the orb, but you can hit quite a few units with it. So it does have kind of a area of effect properties to it. It can be quite strong early on in the game. So like right here, I believe I'm going to go ahead and... Do I go ahead and level? Yeah. I go ahead and level here just so I can get another champion. And rather than play Poppy or Zoe, I'm actually going to play a second Ahri just because she's the more useful champion. Putting in Zoe is not going to get me up to 5 Sorks. Putting in Poppy is not going to get me up to 6 Star Guardians. So there's not really any need to play one of them right now. I'll just play the second Ahri. Why am I leveling here? Because I am on a winning streak. I still have not lost a round yet, and I want to preserve this win streak as long as I can because it's feeding me a lot of extra income. It's worthwhile to drop below 50 gold here if that gets me another unit and helps me preserve that win streak. So that's the whole idea here. Let's see. Unfortunately, Syndra gets popped pretty quickly, but Vel'Koz gets off a nice ult right there. Now, is that going to be enough to win this round? Let's see. If Vel'Koz can get his ult off, maybe. Yep. Vel'Koz coming through in the clutch just barely wins that round. So I don't think I win that round if I don't get if I don't level to 6 and put the second Ahri in. And there we finally get our first Neeko. So that's nice. Neeko is going to replace Jarvan. That Ionic Spark is going to go on her, and I'm hoping to make a Guardian Angel on her as well. Neeko is really your only frontline unit in this team competition, so it's very important to get a Guardian Angel on Neeko so that she is guaranteed to get her ult off at least one time before she gets killed in the fight. Okay, the other unit and the most important unit in the Star Guardians team composition is Syndra. She's the one wearing the little purple outfit. Syndra's ult is basically her ult from normal League of Legends. She tosses out a whole bunch of orbs on the ground, and she will use them to hit one target and deal lots and lots of damage to that one particular target. Now, the big thing about Syndra that makes her so special to the team composition is she will use existing orbs that are on the ground each time that she ults. So the first time she ults, she'll get those little orbs on the ground. The next time she'll ult, she'll do more damage because she's put even more of those orbs on the ground. And it becomes a snowball mechanic. As she keeps ulting again and again and again and again, she will just keep doing more damage again and again and again. So the whole key to this team composition is trying to get as much mana on Syndra as possible. You don't need to stack damage on her. The orbs will do enough damage regardless. Particularly if you can manage to get like 6 Sorks in play for the 80% spell bonus. You want to just get as much mana on her as possible. So the perfect items on Syndra would be a Xerath's, and then another Xerath's, and then probably a Death Cap for the last slot. Unfortunately here, I'm looking at these items and nothing that's popped up is really what I want all that much. So I just go ahead and grab the other Giant's Belt, but there really was nothing left on the carousel I wanted. Another BF sword is not really going to help me here. So that was a little bit unfortunate. So like I said, the whole idea is you really, really, really want to get as much mana on Syndra as possible. So I have do I have one tier? No, actually I don't have any tiers right now. And that's probably the biggest knock against my comp right now. In order for this comp to continue winning rounds, I have to get mana items on Syndra. But I've only found one Syndra, and I have not found any tiers yet. So that's pretty bad overall. Not good in the least for me. And that is going to hurt me here because as you're going to see, I've won every round so far. I'm on an 8-match winning streak. But this comp, in order to keep scaling into the mid-game, has to get Syndra 2-star and has to get mana items on Syndra. If I'm not able to do that, the comp is not going to be able to keep up with the other comps that are continuing to scale. So you see, even though I've been winning up to this point in time, I do finally lose a round there. And unable to keep the win streak going for much longer. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew that without Syndra 2-star and without mana items, I wouldn't be able to keep winning. So I'm happy with how I was able to win up to this point in time. And I am going to be able to get a little bit stronger here. I can level up to 6 and put in Lux. Lux is another Sork. She is not a Star Guardian. And her ultimate tosses along. It's basically her binding from normal League of Legends. Tosses out a straight line skill shot that roots anyone that it hits. She's pretty good. She's a 3-cost unit. She's quite good, but she is not the focus of the team comp. So there we go. Star Guardians. Finally highlighted this. Star Guardians spellcast grant mana to other Star Guardians spread amongst them. 30 mana for Star Guardians 3, 60 mana for Star Guardians 6. So again, you really want to get up to Star Guardians 6. By the way, note that I keep having the useless Zoe get hooked again and again and again. You really want to get up to the 6 Star Guardians. By the way, Lux is all kind of won us that fight because she hit like 3 members of the enemy team, including rooting the Caitlyn. So hopefully Lux and Ari and Vel'Koz can kind of carry us here through the mid game during this point in time when I'm still trying to find more Syndras. Now, as far as item, we got a minion round here. What I'm looking for very badly from this minion round is I want to get a chain vest so I can form Guardian Angel. I would put that on Jarvan right now. And now that I've gotten to level 7, I'm actually going to roll. I'm looking to try to get, I have 1% odds to get 5-cost champions, but I find 2 of them there, neither one of which I want. Is like, okay, where was that misfortune in the previous game I put up on YouTube where I rolled like 80 gold at level 9 and couldn't find a misfortune? But hey, I get it at 1% odds here in a game where I'm playing Star Guardians. Oh well. So here I am going to get some items that help me. I get 1 tier. That's good, but I really need 2 tiers to make a Xerath. And I did not get the chain vest, which is what I want. By the way, another 5-cost unit there, the Lulu, which again, I'm not looking to play in this comp. So I want to make something from these items. I want to make a Morellonomicon off of the Giant's Belt plus the Needlessly Large Rod. That's probably the best thing I can do with those particular items. So I'm going to go ahead and look to make that. I'm going to put it on the Syndra. And I'm also going to, by the way, I grabbed the wrong item here, but fortunately I recognize the mistake. I'm actually having trouble picking up the Needlessly Large Rod. I don't know why, but I've been having trouble picking up items in this patch. I don't know if they changed the mouse sensitivity or anything, but unfortunately Syndra dies before she can even get her ult off. I don't think I would have won against this comp anyway. Having the Morellos wouldn't have hurt though. But yeah, so as you can see, the fact that I only have 1-star Syndra is what's hurting me here. Now, the good news is no one else is playing Star Guardians right here. So what you typically want to do is, if no one else is contesting this comp, oftentimes you want to stay at level 7 and slow roll until you can hit Syndra 3-star. I considered doing that in this game, and in fact, you can see I'm going to roll a little bit more gold here. I'm trying to get the Nico 2-star, and I don't want it so this is what slow rolling is, by the way. You stay at 1 level, and you don't roll down all your gold. You stay at 50 gold, but you roll like the excess money that you have each round. So instead of leveling aggressively up to level 8, I'm trying to stay here at 7 and slow roll until I can find some more copies of these champs. So I'm going to try to do this for at least a couple of rounds in order to stabilize here in the mid game. I don't feel that I'm in that great of a position. Obviously having the Syndra 2-star helps a lot now, but I'm still missing I'm still not even playing Nico, and I have not found the last Star Guardian yet, who is Soraka. So I'm trying to stay here until I can find them. I have very good odds to find the 3-cost units here. Level 7 is where you have the highest odds to find 3-cost units. A little bit dicier to find Soraka, but I'm hoping I can find her as well. And this also gives me the chance to continue looking for some of these other ones. So 2-starring the Lux is nice. There's another Zoe. So again, we want to stop here. We don't want to roll down too aggressively. Note that I am losing health here. What I really need to do is I need to get up to the 6 Star Guardians. And then I need to get Jarvan. So I need to replace Jarvan with Nico, and I need to find Soraka. And that's what I'm looking for here. The 6 Sorks 4-star Guardians is just not as strong as somebody makes a Mordekaiser 3-star. That's going to be trouble later. But the 6 Sorks 4-star Guardians is just not as strong as the 6-star Guardians 4 Sorks, kind of the reverse version of this team composition. I also want to mention something else. I haven't talked a whole lot about Vel'Koz yet. Vel'Koz was the most expensive Sork unit up until this most recent patch. That said, people did not play Vel'Koz as the carry in Sork compositions. People still played Syndra as the carry, and the biggest reason for that is Vel'Koz's targeting AI is infamously pretty terrible. It was improved in this most recent patch. I still wouldn't say it's great, but it's better than it was before. He shoots out that, he basically has his ultimate from normal League of Legends, shoots out that big beam. And here, I'm really hoping I can get this tier. It is coming right towards me. I just need Yukingbo not to grab it. Yukingbo does not grab it, and so I'm like, yes, finally, this is what I need. So now I have finally gotten 2 tiers. I can make Seraphs, and you're about to see what a big difference that's going to be. as far as Syndra goes. With her having a tier, or excuse me, her having a Xerath on, she will cast so much faster. And remember, she's a snowball champ. Every time she ults, she puts more orbs on the ground, therefore causing her to ult faster the next time she gets her ult off. And so I'm going to go ahead and look to put that on Syndra. There we go. And there's another Syndra, so now we've got 5. And here, now I get the other big hit. I find the Soraka, so that means it's time to put in Nico. We're going to toss her in there. She really needs a Guardian Angel, so, and she doesn't have that yet. And then I need to get another Star Guardian in. So I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, wait a minute. I want to run 6 Sorks. I'm going to just go ahead and level to 8 and dump in Soraka, because that gets me up to 6 Sorks. And that's a big buff to this team composition. Now, normally you have to be level 9 to get 6 Star Guardians, 6 Sorks. Either that or find a Star Guardian charm, the item that makes a champ into a Star Guardian. So normally you have to be level 9 to do that. But here in the super dense galaxy, where everyone gets the free Force of Nature, I can get 6 Star Guardians plus 6 Sorks in at level 8. And that's a big deal, because now my comp has really come online. I've got the Xeraths for the Syndra back there. I've got the 6 Star Guardians. So remember, every time a Star Guardian ults, every other Star Guardian gets mana. Really nice. And hey, look at what I found here. Now I found a low odds Xerath. I guess 6%, not terrible odds. So Xerath is the new champ, and that goes into this comp. He is Sork plus Dark Star. And he is a legendary unit, 5 cost. People still don't seem to like him all that much. He might need a little bit of a buff, because he's not that great for a 5 cost unit, but that's it, because the other Star Guardians are very strong right now. He's probably okay. He actually scales off of attack speed. It's a little bit weird. You want to put like attack speed items on him. Rage Blade is a very good item to put on him, for example. When his mana bar fills up, he basically converts so that his auto attacks start doing AoE spell damage. So like, if you watch Xerath here, like now he's got his ult off, so like watch, his auto attacks are now going to do AoE spell damage. Look at that. Tossing off those auto attacks. So you really want to get extra attack speed on him so that he'll get off more attacks and he'll get his ult back up faster. So yeah, he doesn't really scale off of attack, like you don't, I mean, you can put like a death cap on him, it's not bad, but you don't really want to put like a ton of mana items. They're better put on your Star Guardians. And if you've got like unused recurve bows, which generally don't really have much of a point. Yeah, there we go. Xerath transforms summoning meteors, strike random foes in place of his normal attack for 6 seconds. Right. So because the effect lasts for 6 seconds, you want attack speed on him, so he gets off more attacks during those 6 seconds. Makes sense, doesn't it? And as I said, the recurve bows are kind of otherwise pretty useless in this team composition. They're probably the weakest, the weakest item that you would make. So it gives you a chance to use them. Now I've gotten 2 really important things here from this minion round. Finally, I've gotten another chain vest, or a chain vest. So now I can make a Guardian Angel on Nico. I've also made Nico 2-star. And now I have a tier, which I can use to put a Spear of Shojin onto the Syndra there. So this is, and then I'll go ahead and make Trap Claw for my last item here on the Nico. Just make her a little bit sturdier up there in the front row. Now, the Spear of Shojin is not perfect item. Like, it would be better to get 2 Seraphs on here, if possible. But you got to make use of what you have. This is the last minion round that's going to give us components. From this point forward, it's going to be completed items. So this is a really good way to make use of a BF sword that otherwise I would not really have much of a use for. So, like, watch Syndra. Watch how fast she's going to get her ult off. And every time she ults, she's going to be making use of those orbs that are already on the ground. So she's just, blasting right through these enemies again and again and again. Although she actually didn't even do the most damage in that fight. Nico apparently got off a really good ult that locked up a whole bunch of people. That and the Ionic Spark we're doing work there. As we watch this 3-star Mordekaiser slapping people on one of these other teams. So I've just been going up to level 8 right here. I have the option now to either look to slow roll and try to 3-star Syndra at level 8, or I can look to try to get up to level 9, where I'll have better odds of finding more Xeraths, and I can put another unit into this team composition. The odds to find a 3-cost unit like Syndra will go down for each additional level. So I'll have to decide if I want to sit here and try to roll for the 3-star on Syndra, or if I want to, like I said, go up to level 9. It's probably better to stay here at level 8 and try to roll for 3 stars. I can't remember if I did that in this game, because I just tend to try to get to level 9 in my games. By the way, that's another really good Nico ult. So, like, keep an eye on the key units. The key units in this comp right now are the Syndra, the Vel'Koz, and then the Nico for the crowd control. So, like, right here, Kale is trying to murder us all, but we just need one more Syndra ult, and woo! You can see how these fights get close at the end. Very smart to put that Guardian Angel on the Kale, but we were just able to burst her down through that. All right, now we've made the Vel'Koz 2-star. And yeah, so I'm going to continue rolling here, looking for the Syndra 2-star, or excuse me, Syndra 3-star, and also potentially for the Vel'Koz 3-star as well. Vel'Koz 3-star, with no one else is contesting him, is very much a possibility. And he does a ridiculous amount of damage if you can 3-star him, although not the easiest unit to 3-star, obviously. This being patch 10.8, we are not in the earlier versions of Teamfight Tactics. People get knocked out at a much earlier point in time, so like Innovation 1 is already out, and 2 other players are on single-digit health, so the field is being winnowed, which is good to see. In this particular, yeah, so we're up against the person with the 3-star Mordekaiser, but we were able to kill the Jhin instantly at the start of the fight, and Vel'Koz just annihilates that that Mordekaiser. He's not doing true damage. This is not the team composition that relies on true damage, Vel'Koz, but not bad overall. All right, we've got another minion round here, so we're looking for what we could potentially pick up. There is another Vel'Koz here, but with Protector, but it's gone. That was something I was thinking about. Instead, there's another Syndra, and I'm like, well, I mean, if the Syndra's there, I'm definitely going to take that. Syndra, even with a useful item, the Ludens. If I were to 3-star the Syndra, that would pop off her, but then I could give it to another champion. So happy to do this, and I'll take that, and that gets me to 6 Syndras. So I will need to find, what, 3 more, I think? Going for that Syndra 3-star. Yeah, there we go. So it combines together. And so so I'm going to, like I said, continue to roll here, looking to try to 3-star that Syndra. So I mean, like the thing is, my comp doesn't really get much stronger at level 9. Like there's not really another unit to put in. And there we go. There's 8 Syndras. So can we find one more? I can find, I guess we can look to 3-star the Nico as well. That would also be nice. So now I'm like, come on, give me the 3-star here. Give me the 3-star. There's another Xerath, so I will pick that up. But just need to find one more. And then after I find that, I can look to go to level 9. Because I'll actually have better odds to 3-star the Vel'Koz at level 9. Nico, let's see, getting off a nice ultimate. Oh, Wukong, though, messing me up here. And did you notice the one thing that's really hurting me here in this fight? It's the Mana Reaver on that enemy team. We were still able to win, but Mana Reaver not helping. I do need to mention one thing about Vel'Koz as well while we're here. You might have noticed I put Vel'Koz in the second row. You might be thinking, like, isn't that a little bit weird? Why do you have Vel'Koz so far forward? Shouldn't he be, like, further back in a position of safety? Well, the reason why he's not there is because I want his ult to hit the back line. By the way, we do in fact hit the 3-star Syndra. So I was like, yes, all right. Now we might as well go to now we might as well look to go to level 9 because I'll actually have better odds to 3-star Vel'Koz there. So Vel'Koz, you put him in the second row because that way, if he's in the second row, his ult will hit the back row of the enemy team. And he kind of needs to be in, so he kind of needs to be there. If you put him in like the 3rd row or the 4th row, he does not reach the back line with his ultimate. And that way he hits key targets. Like, see how that Kale's in the back line? He should be able to hit the Kale from this position. Yeah, so like he does in fact hit the Kale, but if he's one row further back, he does not get to the Kale. And by the way, the one other thing that's killing us in this fight is the Lulu. And oh, can Vel'Koz get off an ult? No, the Mana Reaver. So we do, in fact, lose that round after being on a long winning streak. So the Guardian Angel on the Kale, plus that Mana Reaver, causing our spells to take longer to go off, and the Lulu on the enemy team as well. The Lulu on the other team got off a nice ult, Syndra got polymorphed, which meant that she was slower to get that off. So I'm trying to see who I'm most likely to face. I'm trying to see who I have hit recently. And I'm up against most of these other, let's see, so I've hit... Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm checking to see who I've hit recently. I do get a usable item here. I get a Ludens, which I'm like, well, I've got one Ludens on Vel'Koz. I'm just going to stick the other one on him too. Not because I want the splash effect on his ult. It's just because I really just want the extra mana. It's really as simple as that. It doesn't hurt giving him extra spell power, of course. But like, who else would I put this on? I guess I could put it on Ahri or Lux. But I was just trying to get Vel'Koz to cast his ult faster. What would be ideal would be turning Vel'Koz into a Star Guardian. It's really nice if you can turn him into a Star Guardian. So here I go ahead and level up to 9, and I go ahead and toss in the Jhin, because that will make Dark Star. I think that was a mistake in retrospect. I think I should have stayed at 8 and slow rolled trying to find Vel'Koz. But we were getting close to the end of the match, and I was trying to look to 2-star the Xerath, and I thought I'd have better odds if I could get up to the next level. So this comp is playing Blaster Brawler, and you can see I'm don't have too much difficulty with this team composition. Actually shred right through this one. The problem for me is RPII has a lot of health, and if you're looking at his bench, he actually has 8 jinxes. So yeah, unfortunately, if he hits on the 3-star jinx, that comp's going to get a lot more difficult to deal with. So I'm kind of worried about that. The reason why I think it was a mistake to do this is I just spent all my gold to get to level 9, and adding the Jhin does not really do much for this comp. Like I said, probably would be better just to stay at 8, keep slow rolling for Vel'Koz 3-star, and the odds to get Xerath 2-star are not that great. Xerath's not that important in this team comp. And like I said, having Dark Star is not that great. Unfortunately, there we go. RPII has now hit the Jinx 3-star, and that's bad news because he has very good Jinx items. I'm glad I hit that comp before he 3-starred the Jinx. But certainly would have been nicer if he had not been able to find that unit. Anyway, here we're trying to deal with that Mordekaiser, so it's really just the one unit left. We are able to kill the Shaco, fortunately, so it's mostly just a matter of can we kill this Mord before he kills the rest of us. Oh, Syndra, no! Ult the Mordekaiser, whew! Did manage to get her ult off before she died. And now we're down to just the last couple rounds here, so I'll go ahead and keep rolling. Or wait, no, I actually think I roll after the carousel here. So I have just beaten RPII. I just knocked out Krusty Waffle, so I'm going to be up against Gerbear. That's why I'm looking at Gerbear's comp. I'm trying to think, should I reposition any of my units? I can see the Lulu is there. I want to make sure Lulu does not hit anyone too important. So I'm going to definitely... He has the Zephyr position to hit my Syndra right now. So I'm going to reposition, and I'm going to look to try to have... Oh, but it looks like I'm up against the other comp. I thought I was going to be up against Gerbear. Instead, I'm up against RPII. Now he's got the Jinx 3-star, so that is trouble. But if we can punch through the whole front line, you can see we managed to kill the entire front line very quickly. And, oh, Vel'Koz, no! So close. So close. Guardian Angel for the win. Another sign of why it's so important to get that Guardian Angel on your key units. Here on this carousel, first choice would have been the Zephyr here. Definitely want that Zephyr. What would cause that Jinx 3-star not to be very effective? How about grabbing the Zephyr? But that's not a possibility. I already have a 3-star Syndra, so I'm going to grab the Dark Star item here. I don't know the official name. I think it's Dark Heart, something like that. But it causes one of your units to become a Dark Star. So I'll go ahead. I can sell that. Or I can toss that off of Lulu. Dark Star's Heart. And now I can drop the Jhin and replace Jhin with somebody else. So I'm going to look to get rid of him. And look to see what else I can find here. And I was like, oh, Lulu, perfect. That way I can get Mystic into my comp. Not sure that Mystic is actually all that great for this particular setup. And oh, I went past a Vel'Koz there. That was really bad. Should definitely be trying to pick that up. Could have had another Vel'Koz. Arguably, there we go. So there's yet another Vel'Koz. But I could have had another Vel'Koz 2-star. And arguably, I should just play double Vel'Koz in this team composition. Like double 2-star Vel'Koz would be pretty good. And here, not paying attention to who I'm up against. I managed to get the Syndra Zephyred out, which is really bad. So you can see the Lulu also hit my Vel'Koz. Is this going to be enough to win this round regardless? It's really close. Can Syndra get off another ult before Kale murders everyone? Yes. So fortunately, I am able to survive that particular round. But I'm not buying these Vel'Kozes, which is really stupid. Like I could be going towards the Vel'Koz 3-star here, and I've been passing some of them up. I've passed up multiple Vel'Kozes here. And I could be very close to having, like, there's another Vel'Koz. I could be very close to having the Vel'Koz 3-star here. I think I passed up 2 different Vel'Kozes already. And again, I'm recording this in retrospect. I think it would be better just to play double Vel'Koz here over playing the Lulu. Well, debatable. There is a lot of magic damage in every team composition, so maybe not. Maybe the having Mystic in isn't the worst thing. So I did manage to shift this around. This time, Syndra is not going to be grabbed by that Zephyr. And we just need to kill the Kale. She's the big one. Good MF ult on the other side, though. Lux actually got off a pretty good ult, though. And we do get the Polymorph off. So Lulu doing good work. So Kale's the last one up, but I think we have enough left over to finish her off before she murders everyone. And we are able to eliminate Gerbear. So it's just me and RPII. Now, I lost to him the last time I hit him. So I will need to hopefully do better in this particular round against him. One thing I can say is the Mystic probably isn't as useful. Well, unfortunately, I just noticed this. He has just made the Cho'Gath 3-star, and that's a real problem. Jinx 3-star and Cho'Gath 3-star? That's not good. That's not good at all. Uh, a 3-star Cho'Gath in the front lines is going to be a real issue, along with the 3-star Jinx. Now, if I had a Zephyr, if I managed to get Zephyr off that carousel, I would have pretty good odds to win. I would just have to Zephyr one of those 2 units, and I think I'd have decent odds. Here I'm going to put the Morellos on Xerath. I think that's actually a mistake. I think it should probably, honestly, should probably go on a second Vel'Koz. Looking to play that. The Morellos is not that good on Xerath. You would think it would be pretty good, but it's really not. And here I'm just rolling, trying to find that 2-star Xerath. So we are going to find that. So we go ahead and get that. And now I'm at 7 Xeraths, or 7 Vel'Koz, excuse me. But I really could use a 3-star Vel'Koz to be sure. That would certainly be helpful. The problem is that Cho is just a monster. We really don't have a good way to get through that Cho. And that combined with the 2-star MF, who has the Rebel buff, by the way, and the 3-star Jinx. It's just like, wait a minute, what? Where did my comp go? What happened? Where did my units go? They all just got deleted instantly. Well, what happened there is Jinx got off one of her rockets that critted when she was getting the Blaster's bonus. And it hit 6 targets and critted, and they all just died. And now I'm kicking myself because I passed up those Vel'Kozes earlier, and I'm at 8 Vel'Kozes, and that is entirely my own fault because I passed up 2 of them earlier. So I could have had 3-star Vel'Koz here, and that might have been enough to deal with this. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to reposition. I'm trying to set it up so my key damage units are on the side so they can't all get hit by a Cho'Gath ultimate. So like it's either going to hit Vel'Koz or Syndra, but can't hit both of them. Unfortunately, there's just only so much I can do here. Vel'Koz actually gets grabbed. That was also kind of bad. So this round's a little bit closer. We're actually getting close, but just that extra health on the 3-star Cho'Gath, it's too much for me to deal with, and that's going to be GG. So yeah, can't win them all. I was actually quite happy with the comp I built in this game, but 3-star Jinx and 3-star Cho'Gath, that's a lot to ask. So I take second, and like I said, I'm reasonably happy with getting the second place in this particular game. I think that this was a good game to show off how this team composition worked. You can see that there was someone else who was playing the Star Guardians, but they didn't make it very far. They got knocked out pretty early. I think I was able to highlight kind of the key things you want to have. You want to have a Seraphs on Syndra. You want to try to get the 3-star Syndra if you can. However, if other people are contesting the comp, it's better to push to a higher level and try to get 6 Sorks in. At least that's my thinking. Really strong comp in this patch. Feel free to play it. I have had a lot of success with it. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you're having a good week. See you guys soon.